Don't you think that if Nigeria doubled the money it spent on basic education, our classrooms might finally stop looking like abandoned warehouses? The 10th House of Representatives, led by Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, in their legislative agenda promised to amend the UBEC Act. That is the act that established the Universal Basic Education Commission, the agency in charge of making free compulsory primary and junior secondary education work in Nigeria. The idea behind the amendment is simple. Increase education funding from 2% to 4% of the Consolidated Revenue Fund, CRF. So the CRF is basically Nigeria's big wallet where all federal revenues are stashed before being spent. The idea of collecting more from these big wallets for education is basically the building blocks for any decent education system in Nigeria. So how far with this promise now? A bill tagged House Bill 594, sponsored by Honorable Tolani Mukhtar Shagaya, was supposed to make this happen. This bill scaled first reading in October 2023 and second reading March 2024. It was also referred to the Committee on Basic Education Services, chaired by Honorable Mark Bako Hussaini, but it has stalled since then. It's been silent on that front. The committee hasn't brought back any report. On the legislative agenda meter on promisetracker.ng, the promise is rated broken because it's a medium-term commitment with a timeline for June 13th, 2025. Since that timeline has elapsed and the bill has not yet been passed, that promise is now broken. Why is this even important? Well, if you've seen classrooms like this one or this one, then you probably already know why it's important. But let's assume you haven't. First, Nigeria has about 18 million out-of-school children, the highest in the world according to UNICEF. Also, UNESCO recommends about 15 to 20% of federal budget allocated to education, while Nigeria's federal budget allocation to education is around 5%, far below the UNESCO recommendation. So the extra 2% from the CRF could mean more staffs hired, safer classrooms, and fewer kids learning under trees. See, broken promises in education affect the future of every child in Nigeria. And except the children are no longer the leaders of tomorrow, then it's affecting the future of Nigeria as well. Any investment in education is an investment in our future workforce, economy, and our society. But you and I as citizens, we can act. How? Firstly, go to promisetracker.ng and track this promise and many others. Don't just go through social media. Use it to call out your reps. Tell them to push HB 594 forward, especially the leadership of the House, Honorable Mark Bako Hussaini, and other members of the Basic Education Service. If we don't hold them accountable, we will be having more cobwebs in our classrooms than students.